Warming up.
Yeah.
Whew.
It's very humid.
It's very humid.
So yeah, it's a live stream. We will get started a bit, just giving time for people to join. If you are watching the recorded version of this, you may want to skip forward a bit. Uh, we'll get there. We'll get there. In the meantime, we are. Whoa, oh,
Oh my gosh, sorry. They're demoing how prefect actions will work.
for Concordia, even
Yeah.
though you don't like the design, some of the
Look,
design.
look, they have a nice, the map now adjusts in uh, areas.
Mm.
So it kind of tries to be more, yeah, there, see? It kind of now tries to isolate what you want to look at. Good job.
There's a dark mode now for
Showing
YouTube
promise.
Studio,
Mm.
which is like a minor thing, but I appreciate.
See? Look, we look like it's daytime compared to our previous one. Interesting. This is shot at 9 p.m. Despite the fact our lighting looks like it's in the late morning.
Let me just tweet.
YouTube stream is running. Facebook, I'm waiting for it to appear.
You're tagged in it now.
Yeah, it hasn't appeared in mine yet, so I'm kind of waiting. There. It has appeared on Facebook. Yeah, sharing now to our mailing list. Sent. And then I'll just resharing to my own feed.
We will start shortly. Please wait. Bear with. Bear with. Of course, any food related discussion, such as our episodes on Tuesdays these days, I must warn you that if you are hungry, this is not a good idea. If you are hungry and it is evening while you are watching this video, it is really not a good idea. People have been known to get particularly hungry after going through such a live discussion. Don't say you weren't warned.
Okay, I guess we might as well get started, or do you want to start at 9:15?
I don't know. We're already at 4 minutes waiting. I guess we can start. For the sake of people watching the recording and like, what? It's 5 minutes before this video goes anywhere. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I am gonna run the intro.
Oh yeah! Baduy Pride!
This is Toby.
And this is Rocky.
And if it's your first time here, welcome to Baduy Pride, our little space on the internet where we talk about anything we want.
It's completely unscripted and not entirely accurate, but at least it's honest. Join us as we talk about everything and anything random live.
And if it's not your first time here, thank you so much for joining us again. It's a Tuesday, so we're talking about food. And since it's Friday the 13th on Friday, we decided to try to theme all our episodes this week on luck and fortune and related topics.
And Toby's gonna have to give that explanation at the beginning of every episode this week.
So for this episode, it's all about lucky food, and in many ways, the unlucky ones as well.
Well, that'd be interesting. Is there? I've never heard of
Yes,
unlucky
there
food.
are a bunch of unlucky food beliefs as well.
Oh, okay, okay. So because when we were first thinking about let's do something luck related, the first thing that came to mind that Toby, tried suggesting was let's talk about fortune cookies, but like just fortune cookies. And like, do we really have a lot to say about fortune
Mhm.
cookies? So Toby, what's a fortune cookie?
So fortune cookies were popularized in California and are seen as the end of the meal snack or little bonus that you get when you eat at a Chinese restaurant.
Or
This
an American Chinese restaurant.
Yes, this has sadly then given the wrong impression that all Chinese restaurants have fortune cookies, when in truth it's an American creation.
Mm.
Fortune cookies are made from flour, sugar, vanilla, and sesame seed oil, and there's a piece of paper inside that tends to have a fortune, which tends to be either
Hey, Mitch.
some line or some prophecy, or if you look at movies, a preferred way to give a message to someone you're about to kill.
I am only curious about how they add the message into the cookie. I feel like the uniqueness of the shape of a fortune cookie is just to like prove how
Mhm.
difficult it is to put anything inside.
Now, according to Wikipedia, the closest thing to the roots of a fortune cookie actually trace back to Japan.
Oh,
In Kyoto,
and Noel is
Japan,
here. Hello.
there was a Japanese temple tradition of random fortunes called omikuji.
Hmm.
These are different in many ways. They're a bit larger, made with a darker dough. The batter contains sesame and miso rather than vanilla and butter, but they do contain a fortune, which is a slip of paper wedged into the bend of the cookie rather than the hollow portion. Looking at it, there is, of course, David Jung,
Probably Jung.
founder of the Hong Kong Noodle Company in Los Angeles, who claims he invented the cookie in 1918.
Wow, it's a long way back.
But then you have Makoto Higawara of the Golden Gate Park's Japanese Tea Garden. Oh my god, that's a super long name. In San Francisco, who was reportedly the first person to have served the modern version of the cookie. So both have the claim that they started it, and a San Francisco Court of Historic Review attempted to settle the dispute back in 1983.
Wow, this is actually a use of the court's time.
During the proceedings, a fortune cookie was introduced as a key piece of evidence, with the message reading San Francisco judge who rules for LA, not very smart cookie.
Well, you just wanted to read this bit.
A
Okay.
federal judge of the Court of Historical Review determined that the cookie originated with Hagiwara, and the court ruled in favor of San Francisco. Subsequently, the city of Los Angeles condemned the decision.
Wow, such drama. Noel
Yes.
confesses he's never had a fortune cookie. And actually, I think it's a lot harder to
Mhm.
get a fortune cookie outside the US because it is not really part of our culture. The only
Mm-mm.
time I have had a fortune cookie is someone deliberately bought a box
Yes.
of fortune cookies at Binondo.
Yes.
And it's super like, it was actually a little disappointing
Hmm.
because they're really sweet. They're just sugar
Yeah,
cookies.
they're not the closest I think to a flavor profile would be barquillos.
Yeah, something like
But
that.
our
But
barquillos
it's
has
thick,
a
eh?
yeah, the barquillos has a delicate parang thin folds which make it so yummy. This one is like a slab of sad barquillos.
And then the shape of it doesn't lend itself well
Mhm.
to biting even because it's that weird like arc. So it's like then Mitch has another comparison, like the cone sa dirty ice cream. Yes, because that's a
Yes,
sugar
yes,
cone.
yes,
So
yes.
it's because it's really just sugar and vanilla. It's wow.
So supposedly, there are different manufacturing processes that approach it. Um, some have, of course, a conveyor belt where the heat cooks the dough and then it's pressed into the shape while it's being cooked. Others naman fold the cookie into the right orientation with the fortune already inside. So yeah.
Yeah, because it's the shape is like a it's like a thing, right?
Hmm.
Essentially, if I were to pinch it, because you curl it one side and then the other, and then it folds or something like that. Aina is here.
So, of course, many view it as an Asian stereotype, and we agree. Um, we don't discount the fact that it does add a little bit of fun into the meal, but not because it's fortune cookies, but because you're always curious about the fortune. So I feel like if it were a pachinko board or a bunot box with fortunes, it would still be just as fun.
I feel bad, like in popular media, a lot of times, a lot of they depict not even bothering to eat the cookie.
Hmm.
They just break it open and
Because
get the
often the
fortune.
cookie's not yummy.
That
So that
is,
makes
it's not great. Yeah, and then when I think about it, if I were to have a fortune cookie at the end
mm,
of a meal, especially like a full, sumptuous like Chinese laureate, I don't get it because it's this sharp, like sweet flavor compared to like I just want to have comforting tea at
so
the end or something.
so what I remember is I think I learned that fortune cookies were not Chinese because of the Joy Luck Club.
Ah, okay. Wow, good job, Joy Luck Club.
I'm not sure. Let's
I wonder. I don't remember that particular
Ha!
discussion.
There! It's in the page. The non Chinese origin of the cookie is humorously illustrated in Amy Tan's novel, The Joy Luck Club,
Okay.
where a pair of immigrant women um, from China find jobs at a fortune cookie factory. They're amused at the unfamiliar concept, but after several hilarious attempts at translating the fortunes into Chinese, they come to the conclusion that the cookies contain not wisdom, but bad instructions. All right.
And it's like, yeah, so that's like, Noel says that he'd rather have a real cookie and then read his horoscope. Um, still, still nonsensical, but at least you'll probably have a better cookie.
All right. The next good luck or fortune related item when it comes to food is the wishbone. Does your family have a wishbone moment?
We're very Western. So yes, I've been pulling apart
So the
wishbones all
moment
my life.
so the moment there's chicken, okay, wishbone, and then it's like who will get to be the other person to pull it.
Yeah, more often than not, it's my sister or it used to be my dad, and I didn't win a lot of wishbone pulls.
So for those who are not familiar, whole chickens tend to have what we call the wishbone. So if you're eating chickens because they're usually chicken nuggets or they're processed fillets, then I'm sorry, you will not have a wishbone. The wishbone is an oddly shaped forked bone that's in the fusion of two clavicles called the forcula. It's located right between the neck and the breast of a bird.
Okay.
So in my family, so the first lucky moment is if you're eating and the wishbone's on your plate. Because
Mm.
when the chicken's cut up and it's served, and then you're like, oh my god, I have the wishbone.
I feel like half the time you're lucky that the wishbone survived. Because the way
Yes.
that we chop chicken in the Philippines, it's a wishbone killer.
And that's it. To find out you have the wishbone on your plate and it's still intact is the first lucky moment. And then it becomes a who will share the luck. So then you choose someone else, and supposedly the bone's like this oddly shaped arc with a central piece.
That's thicker.
So it's like a letter Y inverted. And then you'll have one person hold one side, the other person holds the other side, and then you'll both pull. And when it snaps, whoever has the larger portion supposedly gets the good luck, the wish.
I feel like, in terms of my family history, more often than not, we were just eager to see who would win the wishbone
Mm-hmm.
tug of war and would forget to make a wish.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just wishbone, I won. What did you wish for? Oh, then just you're just lost in the moment.
So Mitch shares wishbone. Um, Paghimay ng chicken for escaldo or chicken sandwich mix.
That's one way
Okay.
to get there.
Noel mentions vegetarians never get to do the wishbone.
But do you want to actually do the wishbone? I
Because
wouldn't want to offend you by making you hold a bone.
and admittedly, initial stages of wishbone experience is always yeah, I'm gonna hold the bone, and then later on you don't care. You just want to win. Aina shares, my mom and I used to have the wishbone thing. She would debone chickens for Galatina orders.
And Noel does say, yeah, he probably wouldn't want to do the wishbone to begin with.
Now, the thing about the wishbone is ancient Romans were the first to see the wishbone as a symbol of luck, which eventually turned into a tradition of actually breaking it apart. Chicken wishbone would be snapped apart by two people while each are making a wish, and the person holding the longer piece is said to have the wish granted. I wonder why a lot of wish or fortune has to do with breaking.
Mm.
In some weddings they smash the thing. When a ship is new, you smash the bottle on the front. So there's that. To shatter something is a luck
We're
related
just
action.
violent. It's a human thing. I am more curious about the. Sorry, your paragraph when it goes on. Go back.
Okay.
The person holding the longer piece that have good fortune, right?
Mhm.
But if the bone cracked evenly in half,
Hmm.
both people would have their wishes come true.
We've never had the
I have
bone.
never seen a split in half.
And I guess those are those moments wherein it's perfect for a movie.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you'll have a guy and a girl, or maybe two guys, and they're holding the wishbone, and then we have a close up. I wish I'd fall in love, and then the guy, I wish I'd get back together with my ex, and then they snap it, and it's perfect, and then falls in love with the ex,
Because
and then
the
movie
very
galore.
structure of the bone is that the middle part
Hmm.
is thicker, and then the 2 points connecting to that middle part are the thinnest part of the
Yes.
wishbone, and then it gets thicker at the end. So those are natural break points in terms of like the
Hmm.
engineering of it, and that's why they always break.
Now, supposedly, the Romans traveled through Europe, brought this tradition with them, and the English eventually adopted the practice. The tradition of breaking turkey wishbone started with the Pilgrims, and the term wishbone was created in the United States in the mid 1800s. So now I wonder what they called it prior to the Pilgrims calling it the wishbone.
The clavicle, that bone.
Now, let us clavicle! I don't know. But then the wishbone, for it to work, it has to be dried
I don't
first.
believe this.
Supposedly, raw or cooked won't crack properly. I felt this because sometimes when it's cooked, you're like pulling and it's like just
Bending a bit.
bending and bending. Finally, it gives. So I guess for the satisfying, it has to be a
Ah.
dried one.
Well, if it's just a question of breaking the bone, my family, particularly me and my sister, have always been determined enough that regardless of state,
Hmm.
we are gonna break that wishbone. It's like, Ina says claviculus wishbona. That's a good enough name as any. And of course, Mitch cites that there was also an American TV show about a crime-solving dog named Wishbone.
That's true.
But it is not food. We don't eat the dog.
So let's move forward to the next food related fortune practice, belief, etc. And that is.
Happy birthday! Eat long noodles for
So
a long life.
my mom, I love you, mom.
She's
But
very insistent on this.
so my mom is very insistent on a lot of these good luck things, but also very insistent that we're not doing it because we believe in luck, because we're also religious.
Okay.
Um, I love you, mom. But yeah, so birthday noodles. Admittedly, my family wasn't a birthday noodles.
Wait, be
Um,
careful. Birthday noodles may be misconstrued for a very specific North Park
yeah, but that's
product.
my point. My family was never a birthday noodles equals luck thing.
Okay.
We only had there's always spaghetti, but then they'll add para long life.
But is it,
Yeah.
I thought that
Now
was why you eat long noodles for long life. It's not for luck per se, but or the good luck is very specific that it will manifest as long life.
so long life noodles or okay. How
Oh,
do you
go
pronounce
go
that?
go 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 go.
How do you pronounce that?
It's probably Yimian.
This is mian. This is definitely mian.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is not. This is
Well,
not.
it's an
This is not iye.
it's the flat line, so it's Yi
Yeah.
Yimian. Yimian. I
Yeah.
don't know. You're trying to Duolingo this guy.
So long life noodles symbolize longevity and can always be found at the banquet at Chinese celebrations. Long noodles equals long life, right? Um, so that seems to be the common belief. I'm trying to see if there is any story or roots behind it, at least in this page I'm checking out.
On the noodle front, yes, Mitch also cites the happy birthday noodles ng North Park.
Hmm.
If you, I wonder, I haven't called the North Park hotline in a long time because it's not keto. But for the longest time,
That was the waiting.
the waiting thing was always, new from North
Yeah.
Park, the Great Party Box, and then birthday noodles. Okay, um, And then Aina says, "Don't cut the noodles though. You must slurp them." Ooh, that's true though. Like,
So I
do
never
you
liked that.
do you defeat the whole point of the long life noodle if you break them up on your plate instead of like trying to suck an entire noodle into your mouth?
I always cut the noodles. It always gets stuck in my throat, and ah.
Yes, there's something wrong with your canine throat that things keep getting trapped. Just over dinner again today.
And then Filipino version, if it's not spaghetti, it's pancit.
Yeah, it sounds like it's like any noodle dish,
Mm.
right? Then that's why it's like pancit, whether bihon or canton
Mhm.
or whatnot. Um, yes.
So so the long noodles, I never felt though it applied to like sotanghon, despite having
Yeah,
long noodles as
or
well.
the pancit that's cut small with because it has sotawan mixed in and like what is this? What is this fake birthday noodle? Or it gets funny when for your birthday someone serves like
Hmm.
macaroni or lasagna and like does this still count? I don't think it's long enough. It's the right noodle to convey uh you know good fortune and long lifiness.
Now, those are the familiar ones, or the ones for common. Oops, there's one last that almost missed.
Hmm.
No, there's two actually.
Mitch and Noel have suggestions, but
Okay,
are those the
go.
two? One is mooncake.
Yes, mooncake is a often gift um, when people celebrate Chinese New Year,
Or the Mooncake
or the
Festival.
Mooncake Festival. And then here in the Philippines, nakikisakay tayo, and we're just hoping to get um, yummy
To
snacks.
be fair, I feel like there are a lot of interesting Chinese food traditions that focus on the giving rather than the eating.
Uh-huh.
So like things like mooncake, it's still somehow better to give someone mooncake than to buy mooncake for yourself.
Mm-mm.
It in the same way I know I
Same with
read
tikoy, yes.
yeah, and I read in a story somewhere, same thing with things like jade. Like you don't buy jade
There's health
take
food.
for yourself. You give jade to other people to like
Yeah.
pass
I
fortune
can't
along.
help but feel though that's something sort of like the diamond industry we're in. They kind of came up with this special way to make something more special in their marketing, and now it has caught on.
Mitch asks, Hopia is not mooncake. I think Aina will answer you shortly, but yes, Hopia is not
Yeah, I
mooncake.
believe officially they are not the same, but it is as close as you could say Biko is with bibingka. There's
They're in
very,
the same
yeah,
family.
very close ingredients, very close preparations, but there are differences.
Do you prefer your mooncake with the egg or without?
Either, as long as I eat it. And then I will complain that I ate a mooncake in one sitting, because I'd be like, oh my god,
Mooncakes are very
they're
rich.
potent.
They're very
They're
rich.
dangerously potent. But then they're dangerously so small, so you keep thinking, I can finish this.
Mitch votes for egg. And then now I can't eat mooncake. I mean, okay. On the whole, though, it's like mooncake is not something I have particularly looked for in my life.
Hmm.
Like it's when it's there, I'll eat it. But then like otherwise, I don't. I've never found myself craving a mooncake.
So you don't think it's precious?
Wow, that was a stretch to introduce our shirts. I think there was a better way to introduce our shirts than that pun. But yes, our shirts are. Uh, the pattern is Precious Paul and Nicole. It is from the God Save the Queen series by Pride Studios PH.
Grab a shirt or two if you can.
And buying the shirt also helps support the drag queen on the print. They have many prints.
And this is not a sponsored statement. We
No,
just
no.
want to help support it more.
Ultimately, we're supporting the drag queens
Yeah.
behind them because they're our friends. So yay, buy a Precious
We
Paul and
bought.
Nicole
We
shirt.
weren't like given shirts or anything.
Oh, we bought so many. We bought
Yes.
almost every. We bought a shirt per queen
But
per
it's
parity.
nice. Oh, look at that. It's really nicely done. It's not, it doesn't look cheap. It's nice
No,
quality.
the shirt quality is quite good
Yeah.
actually. I was very surprised at the shirt quality, and considering it's $500, it's more than worth it. If you get like U.S. drag queen merch, it's crazily priced. So this is
Mm-mm.
very affordable, and it goes to their benefits. So good job, Pride Studios. Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Then we have
Should we talk about Tikoy?
Tikoy. So I love Tikoy.
Toby really loves Tikoy. Every Chinese New Year, he hopes to receive Tikoy. but it doesn't happen all the time.
Because I don't have that many friends who actually give away tikoy, to be
Who
honest.
who identify with the Chinese Filipino
I used
community?
to in the office. I used to, and that was mostly because I had a friend who would receive tikoy. She didn't like it, so she'd upload them to me.
I remember when we were living together and we finally received tikoy, and then came the question of what to do with it. Because Toby wanted to eat it, but had never actually prepared tikoy for himself.
Yeah, I've never cooked it for myself back then, which was interesting because you cook it with egg,
Yes.
and the thing really just turns soft. I mean, from like
Look at Toby talk about
from
tikoy.
like a block of plastic,
It does look like
yeah,
plasticine,
it
yeah.
turns into like this high class pinsan of the palitaw, di ba?
Pinsan of the Palitaw. What is this? Let's quote that. Pinsan of the Palitaw.
Because if you get palitaw and then you get tikoy, parang the tikoy look at the palitaw like, you're putting sesame seeds and buko so you look saucy. But,
I have an egg coat.
me, I'm just eggy.
Does everybody does everybody fry their tikoy with egg? Is that like the universal preparation, or is that
I
just something
don't know.
specific to?
Let's
I'm
see.
asking like the audience. Aina shares. Oh my God, lumpia tikoy with cheese. Oh, okay. And then Noel does not like tikoy because it sticks to the roof of his
But
mouth.
that's what makes it fun. Ang tikoy
Toby
masarap.
Toby likes things that are sticky and unusual, obviously. So yeah, he'd
Yeah,
probably
so
go for it.
some do prepare it by steaming it
Mm.
rather than pan frying. Then others stick to frying it. Can you fry it without the egg? Some say use flour instead of egg. You lightly coat it. Otherwise, it'll be hard to chew.
I'm so used to the egg version, and then it's always like, but it has to be super lightly dipped in the egg because when
Mhm.
it's too much egg, suddenly there are omelets on your
Yes.
little plate of tikoy, and then it gets weird.
And I'll admit that I find the other flavors weird.
The other special
Yeah.
tikoy things.
I'm so used to just the regular tikoy that there were times which we had the other ones, the more
I
special
have never
ones.
tried other than anything but the plain.
Yeah, yeah.
Do people? Oh, Ina shares that she used to microwave them when she was still ignorant, but then like the chewiness. Oh, that's an interesting method. I don't know how that'll work.
Oh, now I'm thinking cheese tikoy. So it has the grilled cheese fried, and then when you bite into it, it's the sticky upper class palitaw.
Whoa, wait,
Winner.
what is first? Because the pinsan ng palitaw. Now it's upper class. Now it's suddenly the city palitaw and the country palitaw. I don't know.
Okay, but yeah, tikoy. Um,
And then Ina shares, as I suspected, would burn the roof of her mouth with the molten microwave tikoy. Yes, microwaves can be deceptively effective at things like tikoy because of the material. Okay.
so other lucky related food.
Oh, sorry. Ina says that NBT does have a cheese tikoy.
Ooh, must visit.
All right, so we're looking at random articles about things that are considered lucky.
So, well, before I go to the list, there is the Filipino practice of having
Oh, we're gonna talk about the fruits.
eight round
Was it
fruits,
8?
8 or 7.
Well, 8 is a lucky number in Chinese, whatever.
12. Oh my gosh, it says here 12.
No,
I
that's
don't
a
know
list
why.
of 12 possible fruits, and then it's like
7 lucky fruits for Chinese New Year. It
they're
says
just
here.
giving you
Eight,
variants.
yeah, 8 lucky fruits. So I guess it really depends on who you listen to.
So, okay, Noel says 12. How many fruits do you need to be lucky on New Year? Please let us know in the comments. What do you know? Uh, brown fruit. Yeah, but I think the general
12
consensus is
seems to be
12.
12. Okay, so I guess it's 12. Maybe it's 12 and I never realized it because I've eaten some of them by the time I count them. But yeah, there's always that idea of having a number of round fruits present on your table come New Year's Eve. And I always found that fascinating. because it was always a you have a host of fun fruits,
Everybody is explaining it is one fruit for every month of the
and then you
year.
see fruits that you don't recognize, and you're like, "What's that? Why is that there?" Okay, it's round, I guess.
Interestingly, I'm looking at this article by Spruce Eats about Filipino New Year
Hmm.
food superstitions by Connie Veneracion. And she writes that the round fruits of midnight are a Hispanic
Hmm.
tradition
Well,
because eating grapes or small round fruits is inherited.
yeah, and that's where you have to eat 12 of them in one go.
But then the 12 different ones is because of the months. Oh, okay, okay. Wow, with the grapes, each and every person must eat all 12, but with the whole big fruits, each person simply takes a bite from
Mm.
each. So it's like you have to have 12 varieties.
Yeah, we had that 12. We have that 12 eating 12 fruits.
I don't think we've ever really done this.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm looking first at the long noodles again.
So there's the sticky food for good fortune to stick. I don't know if
I've never
this.
heard of this.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a more popular tradition. I think it's something that people connected to why Tico is being given around and stuff,
Mm.
and then they explained it that way. There's the filling your cupboards to keep them full all year. The second version I've seen of that is to open the cupboards so that good luck goes in.
I love you. Cupboards.
Oh, okay.
Say it again.
No, don't embarrass me on air.
I'm not
Go.
embarrassed. I'm just helping
Next.
you. Okay, okay. All right. Aina shares. It is also the reason why we have queso de bola for New Year and jamon de bola.
Okay.
Oh, I never thought
I
about
didn't think
that.
about that too. But they're not fruits.
But the round, we just like round things.
Yeah, I guess that
Then
makes
there's this
sense.
one I've never heard of, but it's on this list that is like no chicken or fish. Um,
I don't know this one
I
at
don't know this
all.
one either. So okay, there's a whole story, but apparently because the chicken way of eating is associated with hardship and poverty, and the bird has to scratch and peck all year round. Although tasty and delicious, chicken is not served during New Year's Eve. This I
I
worry
question
about
that.
this article. Who are you from, Spruce Eats? Aha! Are you in America? It's a very white theme, so I'm going to assume yes.
Okay,
Okay.
looking at others in the list. So this one's a few list of eight. So there's green, supposedly, by having green, which is luck, you could have green food on your table. There's cabbage, supposedly in Germany,
And
Ireland,
Ireland.
and parts of the United States, cabbage is associated with luck and fortune, since the green hue resembles money. Purple cabbage, however, is just for show.
And it's funny because the picture that comes with it is obviously a burger with a purple cabbage slaw. Sorry, Noel says that maybe it's also why small oranges are popular. Forgot what they're called. Aina says kiat kiat. I only know them
Yes.
as mandarin oranges.
Yeah, the kepkia.
But yeah, my mom loves those.
Some see fish as lucky because supposedly they swim in one direction, which we know they don't. And that they symbolize abundance because they swim in schools. Then there's those who say
What
lentils are
the
lucky.
hell? Thought they resemble coins in Italy. Okay,
Mm.
whatever, Italians, lentils.
Pomegranate is seen as associated with abundance and fertility.
It's a
And
Mediterranean tradition.
black-eyed peas.
Well, I can understand the black eyed peas being a New Year's tradition. Yo!
With or without Britney.
Oh my god.
Looking
Okay.
for others, feeling superstitious. This one seems to be the same. Yeah, it seems to be the same. Uh,
Same same Western thinking.
so
Okay.
moving beyond that, we then have the other stuff, which range from plain and simple superstitions. Garlic supposedly is able to ward off evil.
Well, that's I
Um,
mean that hence the vampire thing and stuff. Yeah.
Salt is supposed to be
Oh,
tossed over your shoulder to ward off bad luck, to protect yourself, to cast the devil away. Bread, if you cut the loaf open and you see a large hole in the middle, someone in your life will die.
oh my god.
Oh, this is this is
That just means there was a gas pocket in there and it escaped.
rice. We throw rice at a happy couple, and
Oh
so on and so
yeah.
forth. So it's supposed to bring happiness and wealth. Peppers. Did you know you're not supposed to hand a friend a hot pepper? because doing so can put a strain in your friendship.
This is like what, taking off someone's ring. But then in the Philippines, people pass pepper all the time. So I don't know about this list.
And then
Okay.
bananas. It is supposed to be bad luck to cut a banana with a knife.
Oh.
That's
And then fisherman folklore says never bring a banana on board a ship because ships carrying bananas don't do well catching fish. What are these things? Oh my god.
I wonder if it has to do with the potassium present in it.
Noel says, kailangan you're cooking rice sa New Year. Oh, that's it. I've never heard of that one.
Mm.
That you have to have rice that is literally on the stove at the strike of midnight.
Mhm.
Para daw laging may kanin na di magugutom for the year.
Um,
So it's one of those. And so a lot of the food traditions tie meaning to the food
Yes.
and what you hope for the year. Okay,
And
that's
then
interesting.
and then we have the eggs. So everything from eggs symbolizing fertility to eggs being a gift or something you have to bring in good fortune when the house is new or what.
Okay, on a side note,
Um,
I love this underlined line here that says farmers would scatter broken eggs into their fields, hoping they would bring forth an abundant crop.
mhm,
Well, because you're fertilizing it with
mhm.
the eggshells, which is good. So good job.
And then there's the act of finding two yolks in one egg.
Oh, we gotta talk about double yolks. We gotta talk about double yolks. Have you? I don't think I've ever encountered a double yolk on my own. I can't remember.
We've had a double yolk in Cubao.
Yeah, but it was like you were the one who broke it.
Yeah.
And then like
Then I cooked it.
and then yeah, and then it just became a yolkier egg. Noel argues that cutting a banana with a knife is exactly how they proper ladies do it. While you're knitting, or is it part of your afternoon tea? And Carlo's over on YouTube. Hey Carlo.
Mhm. Now it's interesting that eggs are prominently used because even when it comes to stories of folklore and witchcraft or spells or curses, the eggs do become a prominent
And
thing
there's
as
a
well.
yeah, there's a lot of like sometimes that you capture the bad and you
Mm,
put it into an egg, and then when you break it, it's a rotten egg. Well, I don't know, things like that. I guess because they're just so fundamental, and it's like a literal image of fertility
yeah.
because it is new life and all that.
Then let's not forget tea. Tea is used in divination to look at the dregs and see your future when people are reading your tea. Um, there's supposedly bad luck if the act of pouring tea is shared.
Wait, I like this. You should never put milk in your tea before sugar. What? And then undissolved sugar at the bottom of the cup may mean someone is in love with you, or it means you didn't stir. Okay.
Coffee. If there are bubbles in your coffee, catch them with a spoon and eat them. You will get money.
Okay. I'll just say okay. Parsley. What are superstitions for
Planting
parsley?
its seeds will help a woman become pregnant.
Oh,
If the
okay.
plant thrives, the husband what? If the plant thrives, the husband is weak. Whatever you do, don't bring it to a dinner party as a gift that brings bad luck.
Okay, on a side note, who the hell gives parsley as a gift? It's not bad luck, it's just weird.
Yeah, it's again the pepper peanuts. Never eat peanuts in a performance. I've heard of this backstage in theater. Yeah, I remember there's been talk about this.
I think it's just because the janitors hate cleaning up peanut shells everywhere, and so it's like, no, it's bad luck.
So,
And theater people are very prone to believing
so we
things.
almost overlooked birthday cakes.
Oh, although we talked about birthday cakes in another episode,
Mhm.
but yes, we gotta cite the value of the birthday cake.
And how there's that challenge slash fortune of blow all the candles or you have no wish for your birthday.
Oh, Carlo was asking if the list is Pinoy specific. No, we ran out of stuff, so we're already going international.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and then like, so I mean, I was very, very much raised on the whole birthday cake, blow out your candles, and
Mhm.
I'm super into that. Then you have to blow all the candles in one breath.
What was your family's reaction if the candles died because of the wind or something? Is that like, sorry, too late?
Again.
You guys haven't again. Kami wala. The
No,
moment has passed.
no, because with this, we'd probably turn off the fans already at the
Mhm.
beginnings. But if there was an air source, then you're gonna see people automatically start building a wall around the cake.
Hmm.
so that you're shielded.
Everyone has their hands.
So
in
it's
the-
only when all the candles are successfully lit does the moment of needing to blow it begin.
What was the most number of candles you saw on a cake?
I don't remember. I don't remember because I don't because whenever it's the adults, they become symbolic.
Yeah, or
It's
like
like two candles,
or the numbers na.
the number
The candle.
candles. But then even the number candles is controversial because it's still declaring your age super much on the cake. So I think it's kids hitting double digits. So it's like when it's like 10, 12, 14 candles. But I don't remember having that many. I honestly don't. And it just the because my birthday memory is blur. My most distinct birthday that I remember is still my 8th
Mhm.
for some reason.
So Aina shares, the birthday celebrant must make the first cut. You know how particular I am about birthday traditions, especially with the cake. We have video evidence.
Excuse me, you say you're very particular.
Yeah,
I
but
thought we enforced that we could not
yeah,
blow candles until
and we're like,
midnight.
it's not your birthday yet. Why is the cake out? It's not yet your birthday.
Just because we had dinner doesn't mean we're going to have cake. But okay, I've never heard of the cutting the cake thing. But then again, most of my birthday traditions were when I was a kid,
Mhm.
when I was not allowed to hold knives.
Mhm.
So I probably was never allowed to cut the cake. Well, it's like, di ba kaya they invented the number candles or just one candle? Then your age is on the dedication. That's true. Aha. All right, Aina. Shall we go back to the tape and discuss your cake tomfoolery?
Now, lobsters are considered bad luck because on New Year, they portend swimming backwards.
Oh, but then
So,
will the same apply to like shrimp? Because also they shrimp swim in the same way. Okay.
then, okay, so this is weird. So it mentions here, whatever you do, don't eat it all. So for, I guess for whoever wrote this, they have a practice where you don't empty your plate.
On New Year's Day.
For us,
Oh, it's the
you don't.
opposite.
For us, you don't get the last piece. No, so there's like a plate of.
But I don't think that's unlucky. I think that's kahi. That's just nahiya lahat. Diba? It's not a luck thing.
Mm.
It's a Asian thing.
Then I guess the more luck
And
related
then
thing for us would be at the start of drinking. There's that you throw out a shot or a small amount para sa demonyo or what.
oh, I've not seen that in practice, but I've heard like
Mm.
I've heard it mostly in movies. And then with this, sorry, I feel like a tradition that involves not finishing your food is such a first world tradition. Whereas we're all about there are children starving. You should finish every last grain of rice on your plate. So I don't know. Carlos says the candy flour should on the cake should be eaten last. I don't know if this is a tradition, but I respect this.
Mm. And no. You'll like eat the petals until it's like the core, and then you'll nibble on that core.
Because it's the hardest part of the sugar flour. Wait, Noel also says in Brazil, the celebrator cuts the first slice and gives it to the person they love the most. Noel, I think Rupert Armand does the shot throwing away. I think I see Rupert do this. I think I see Rupert do this. Then again, Rupert is more likely to serve thing in shots. I miss those though. Okay. Um, what else? So we wanted to also ask everybody: do you have like personal or family luck food traditions?
Mm-mm.
Are there certain things, whether it's because it's tradition or just a practice? Like I don't know, maybe there's some people like I will always I don't know after a big deal I will have ice cream. I don't know.
Mm.
I'm just wondering, do you have anything like that? You just eat a lot of food.
Yeah.
I have this flashes of Toby eating cakes and whatever
I'm
just
also
because
trying.
he
I'm
wants
also
to.
trying to think of parang were there times na parang oh you didn't finish ganyan, that's bad luck or ganyan. I don't really remember. I think the closest I have, um, which I think everyone went through, was the don't stab your chopsticks,
Into your
because
rice.
it's rude and it's bad luck. But I
Mm.
think that bad luck statement was added so we all the more don't do it. Because when it was just it's rude, we didn't really. But then, no, it's bad luck. And then,
We're a family that would listen to the it's rude only
mm,
because the parents are very scary when they deliver this ultimatum. And so it was a lot of like learning where everything is, a place for everything and everything in its place.
And then there was that less fortune, more pamihiin of when you drop a spoon or a fork.
Mm,
Diba? When you
mm-mm.
drop a fork, there's a guy who'll supposedly visit or show up.
I'm more amused at the. I forget if it's if someone arrives or someone leaves, and you have to turn your plate.
Plates. Mm-mm.
I didn't understand
Kasi
that.
malas daw if you continue eating and someone leaves the table. So
Uh,
you turn the plate to shift the luck around.
okay,
Now there's
Noel
changing
says
seats, which is the version of the turning the plates.
you're not supposed to move or change seats until you finish. Well, I respect this only because I'm rumored to be a little anal about things, and then like I just don't want people moving seats around. That's just weird. Okay. No, I know also had the turning plate thing. Yeah, we had that too. We had the, and it's funny because you're this huge gathering of people, and then someone has to go early, and then it's like shrunk.
So for safe travel daw, according to Noel. So I guess parang if you're gonna travel, everyone turn their plates so it's safe.
I'm looking for turn plate superstition. Okay, it's in the nine superstitions many Filipinos still believe. Turn your plate when someone leaves in the middle of a meal.
To ensure safe travels for the person leaving. And then yeah, the other one, there's the other one. The table should not be cleared while someone is still eating.
Oh yeah, there's I've heard that one. Like you're not supposed to clear the
Mhm.
table while people are still eating, even though someone's very slow. Um, Nothing else about the birthday noodles again. Nothing else about food on this list. Okay, okay. Oh my god! And then Carla adds, otherwise the person will never marry. Man, the ultimatums attached to these superstitions are
And I
scary.
think that's the weird thing when it comes to Philippine, I guess, superstitions. You know, death is less terrifying than you'll never marry.
Mm, mm. Because you must continue your family
Mm.
legacy. Okay. Noel also heard you should not sing while eating. I have never heard of that. That sounds like along the lines of my grandmother would always admonish us not to read while eating.
Mm.
It was to force us to engage with people at the table instead of reading because it was rude. But you would see my sister and I don't know why compulsively at some point it's like because you're just eating and you're waiting for something to happen and you want to do something. You end
Mm.
up reading the labels and the condiments. So I have taken time to read and like, hey, you know that there's like soy in this, and they're like, no reading at the table. So I know it's like a super act of defiance. Like when
Mm.
Toby and I eat out, I'm like, I'm reading. I love you. We can talk while I'm
No, it's
reading, but
okay. I'm
I'm
reading
reading.
too.
Yeah,
And then sometimes I'll talk to you and then we'll go back to
we'll,
reading.
we'll talk in between or like, hey, look at this, and then
Yeah,
like,
and
yeah.
then the waiters are like seeing that, they're still eating. They're not naman fighting.
We do look like we're in an argument sometimes. It's just funny. But if it's just the two of us, naturally, if there are other people, we'll talk to you. I think. Any other food related superstitions or lucky unlucky food? Oh, I thought we were finding were there any lists more about unlucky things?
I think that was it.
I feel like there's always a lot of worry about things that are black. I don't know, and I always go back to the Cooking Master Boy where everybody was scared of the black chicken, but it turned out it was like extra
Yeah, it just does
nutritious.
say no to chicken.
Ah,
There's
okay,
a
okay.
don't eat white because white is death in Chinese belief. Yeah. So it's pretty much the same ones we've covered.
So it is funny though. I mean, like, so I think the only patterns of note for me were like um, when it comes to luck, there is some altruism built into these food traditions,
Mm-hmm.
which is a lot of like you must give certain foods away
Yeah.
to commemorate key events. And then there's also what's this New Year's has a lot of traditions tied to what's going to happen for the rest of the
Mm-hmm.
year, whether it's the fruits or what the nature of the food you're eating, if you believe the chicken thing or the
Mm-hmm.
fish thing, or so it's just kind of interesting how that goes, and when people just kind of dig up new meanings based on new interpretations of different dishes. So I don't know what to think of like my keto life and like in the far future, are there going to be keto related traditions?
Well, there are modern day new traditions that have sprouted. For example, there's the what's this? There's the curly fry lucky moment wherein you order fries in McDonald's and then, oh, my twister fry.
I don't think it's luck. I think they're trying to lure you over to buy a pack of Twister fries next time.
There's the extra nugget moment
Okay, that's lucky.
when you order chicken nuggets and then, oh, there's an extra nugget.
That's lucky if you get an extra nugget. That
Yeah.
is poor quality control right there. Considering how difficult, I mean, how measured
Mhm.
all of McDonald's life is, I cannot imagine an extra nugget. I've never gotten an extra nugget. Wow. Flipping a fish when eating it kills a. Hey, I don't know about the killing a fisherman, but I do remember, especially at big Chinese restaurants, there's something about don't flip the fish.
So you only eat one side.
No, you eat through, which is difficult for you.
Mm.
That's why other people have to shred the fish for you. But normally it's like the big lapu-lapu, the big grouper,
Yeah, I
ganyan.
can imagine.
Diba? And then you never see them flip the fish over. It's
I think
it's
that was just
it's a
because it
luck thing.
gets messy and things fly around when you flip a fish.
Flip fish superstition. Let's look it up. Okay, this article from blog.com, I don't know what this site is, but it's the first one that came up. When you're eating fish, don't flip over the fish. Chinese people generally eat fish whole, with the whole fish symbolizing a boat. If you flip over the fish, it means you've capsized the boat,
Okay.
therefore bad luck.
Okay.
Okay,
I
that's
can imagine
interesting.
that.
Yeah, then there's like other articles that support don't flip the fish. Although Aina's version is very specific that it's killing a fisherman. Oh my god.
Well, again, I think it's because
That's the parental version.
parents have to customize the story to fit more what the kid will grasp, right? What?
You say this in hindsight, in recognizing you were difficult children. That you only believe them if they were particularly gruesome superstitions.
Yeah, because like the original was, if you stab it, it's like a grave, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Yes, Toby would not be turned off by his bowl of rice turning into something symbolizing the grave.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. That's a point. What else?
And then, what else are other modern day luck moments? Um, I guess that's it. It's just the fries, the extra fried, the extra nugget. Um, yeah. I mean, the only other thing I guess would be the impromptu buffet suddenly
Noel
available.
says, oddly enough, even though my family is not Chinese, we follow a lot of Chinese traditions. Wala naman masama maniwala. I feel like a lot of Philippine culture is like
Hmm.
this. That because we've been so culturally diverse in our history that we have integrated many things into our
True.
traditions while still holding that we are a predominantly Catholic country. And then it's always like we're Catholic, we just happen to be doing these other things at the same time. Okay,
Hmm.
which is fine. Um, Aina, eat all your rice because each grain is equal to a drop of the farmer's sweat. So graphic, your family,
Yeah.
and very pro labor.
Yeah,
I respect
the
that.
closest I have to that was the finish your plate, was think of the people in ganyan, the people in
Yeah, it's
Africa or
always
the
like the
people in
starving kids in
yeah,
Africa.
and ako I always in my mind countered, then give it to them na lang. But yeah.
Carlo mentions, how about in games if you let other people open chests because they might have better luck? I don't know. Only if the game has a luck stat attached to the character.
Yeah, but there is that superstition, right? Na ikaw na lang ikaw magbukas kasi mas swerte ka yung mga ganung moments.
Mm-mm.
Although then doesn't that mean it's now for that person?
And we're moving away from food, so we gotta go back to food. Okay, okay. We're focusing on lucky food.
I guess that's
Uh,
it. I think I'm out.
yeah, it's
Is there
like
any cheese related luck stories?
you just want to talk about cheese.
Like, is there the wheel? And then it's lucky if you get a cheese wheel.
Let's say lucky cheese and cheese superstitions. Um, Okay, Lucky Cheese didn't give us anything
Parang
good.
wala.
Let's look at this one. Oh my god, wait, okay. This is crazy. 10 weird food superstitions. Number one, apple peels can predict true love.
So next time you bake an apple pie, peel the skin away from the apple as long as you can before it breaks. Toss the skin onto the counter and see what letter it resembles.
Wow, this is so convoluted.
This is so witchcraft.
Bonus points if the peel is long enough to spell their entire name. What the hell? Okay.
Cutting a cake before Christmas Eve.
Wow. Aina, listen up. No.
Christmas is fraught with urban legends. Our least favorite is the belief that cutting into your Christmas cake. Who has Christmas cake?
Before Christmas
Before
Eve.
Christmas Eve brings bad luck. But who has Christmas cake? Since when did Christmas have cakes? We will now have cakes for Christmas.
Oh, there's the banana and the fishing boat thing, and the black-eyed peas on New Year again. Garlic, okay. Long noodles, throwing rice, okay. Spilling salt. Okay. Oh, that's the funny thing. That if you spill salt,
You must toss.
it's bad luck, and then you have to toss it over your left shoulder
Yeah.
to like make up for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't ask me the logic behind it.
Um. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at trying to catch up with the Wait. Okay. Let's look at the comments. So.
Bawal.
Yeah. Noel saying bawal ang mumu mumu, which is leftover grains of rice. Kasi bibisita daw ang patay. Oh my God. Wow. And then, Alola would always leave some rice on her plate, but for the dead. So it's deliberate naman.
Mm-mm.
Carlo does say we have cakes for all occasions, so why are you complaining about Christmas cake? Okay. Food for the gods. We have Christmas cakes. Fruit cake, diba? But family had
Fruit
Christmas
cake is not a cake. Fruit cake is a lie.
So angry. Okay. And then, wait, we're not done with this list. It's the pepper again. Oh, the don't give a knife as a gift. Okay, okay. And then let's see. Oops, I just want essential cookies. Strictly necessary. Confirm my choices. Go
Yeah.
away. Okay. Uh,
Stay young
Whoa.
by carrying an acorn.
but this is not like food traditions. They're just strange. So let's look for the food ones.
Don't eat
Don't
lettuce.
eat lettuce if you want to have children. It is detrimental to child urine because it was a sterile plant. As plants exhibited peculiar actions, so were the supposed to operate on man. Wow! I never heard that. Whoa, in Turkey it says don't chew gum at night. Stick to mouthwash. They believe if you're chewing gum at night, you're actually chewing the flesh of the dead. See, that's gonna make Toby chew gum at night. that your face lit up right at that moment. I was watching. Okay. Um. Oh, maybe you'd appreciate this one, but it looks really weird. Off to an important meeting. Look out for a goat. Uh, grapes at midnight.
Okay, here's our cheese.
Oh, there your
related
cheese one. Read it.
Pass a newborn baby through a rind of cheese. In medieval England, expectant mothers made a groaning cheese.
Groaning.
A large wheel of cheese that matured for 9 months as the baby grew. When the groaning time or birth came, the cheese would be shared out amongst the family. And when nothing but the outer rind was left, the baby would be passed through the wheel of cheese on christening day to be blessed with a long and prosperous life. I think the closest thing we have to this
Oh my god.
is the baby's passed over the coffin of someone who passed away.
Oh yeah, that's true. I never quite got that, but it was like interesting.
Mm-mm.
Whoa, and there's another one. Keep a hot cross bun for a year. So, like the tradition of keeping a slice of wedding cake after the ceremony, this slightly grim superstition
Yeah.
is supposed to bring. It's just your Facebook connection.
Okay.
Um, hot cross buns were originally eaten at pagan festivals, but without the cross. Christians added this in later to ward off evil spirits. And once baked on Good Friday morning, one was hung in the house for a year
Cool.
to bring good luck.
So-
Have you ever hung food?
Okay, so this now makes me think of
Palaspas?
no. Remember how I have this habit of making a cross on stuff? So I get the ice cream and then I'll put a cross on it. Or I open the peanut butter for the first time, I scratch a cross on it.
I'm looking up another food tradition, but So maybe you're blessing your food.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I got a site in Singapore. There's rolling the pineapple.
Okay.
Okay, okay. And I'm finding an article about it. So, um, where's the pineapple? It's like it's all these things. It's many things to do.
There.
Roll the pineapple. In Singapore, pineapples are highly coveted fruits for their symbolism of prosperity. Transiting from a Chinese belief to a uniquely Singaporean custom, rolling the pineapple is a popular ritual to bless new homes.
Mm.
Most likely originated from the Hokkien community, rolling the pineapple is akin to rolling good luck and prosperity into the home.
And
And
then
we've done this for both homes and a new business.
mhm.
So when we had the new office, there was really nobody could enter until the pineapple entered. And it's like what? So okay, okay. Um wait, let's catch up with the comments. Why does lettuce make you impotent? That is our question as well, Noel.
Maybe
Um
because you never mind.
no, no. Okay,
Let us
then
spray.
no. And then Aina says, though fruitcakes are traditionally a wedding cake topper kept forever, eating a small slice every anniversary. Oh, they could last that long. Noel wonders where you can find a goat in the middle of Manila. That is a fair question. Okay. Which Aina says you'd be surprised. And no, Noel mentions the movie Dead na si Lolo,
Mm-mm.
which
Which
is
has
all
all these
about
pamihiins about that.
lettuce tea makes you sleepy, which is a random tidbit shared by Aina.
Then
Oh.
there's that one. Boiling milk until it overflows.
In Hindu tradition, boiling milk on your new stove in an open pot until it flows over symbolizes abundance of wealth, health, and happiness for the household. After the milk has boiled over, some of it will be offered to the deities and the remaining will be consumed with sugar among family members. Wow, that's a lot of milk. Wait, you have to go back because earlier in this list it says number one, bring a cow into your new home. Once in a while, excitement buzzes in our housing estate when we have new neighbors moving in. This is especially so when there is a cow or calf involved. A cow in the lift of your high rise apartment building may come as a surprise, but there's a Hindu tradition among our Indian friends where
Mm-mm.
cows are brought into the house to do a blessing.
Because cows are sacred.
I would love to see a cow blessing. Okay. There's another about letting a feline, but it's not food related. Okay. I'm just like, oh my god. At first I thought the cow was like, would it be beef? Must I eat beef?
Yeah.
No, it's a cow. Okay. Um of course, salt in all corners of the new home.
Yeah, in the Philippines though, it's less salt in all corners and more you have small containers or packets, right? There's rice,
Oh yeah,
water,
yeah,
and
yeah.
salt. Yeah, we have that.
Oh wait, yeah, and look at it. Recognized around the world as a cleaning substance. What is this article? Salt is believed to clear negative energy, and it is an important component used when moving in a new home. Commonly practiced in Singapore, the Philippines, and Scotland, salt being sprinkled in all corners of a home to get rid of negativity. It certainly helps to know that salt can also keep ants away.
So Noel also states there's that spilling chicken blood when you buy new land or something. So that's the no you bloodletting on new property.
Which, ooh, very pagan sounding.
Mm-mm.
It's like sacrifice an animal and like put the blood. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Um, Aina has seen a cow blessing. It's kind of like our Calabao blessing, but with more bells and turmeric face paint on the cow. This sounds
That's
awesome.
awesome.
I want Indian friends who will do a cow blessing. Okay. Um, Noel is like now determined to like boil milk, find the cow and the goat for a vegetarian. These are very unusual animal
Carlo
friends to
asked,
have.
does salt really keep ants away? I guess depends, because salt does have an effect. But I don't really think salt is the best way to, you know, spraying salt all around your house.
So this quick article says that spreading salt near nooks and corners from where ants enter the
Will keep
house
it away. Yeah.
will help keep away. Is one of the best and cheapest ways to get rid of ants naturally. Use ordinary table salt, not health boosting rock
Because
salt.
I think they're like super absorbent of moisture, right? So
Yeah, I like the one that makes ants explode.
wasn't that enough?
But they do say if you salt ants, it does not kill them.
Yeah. So parang baking soda yata yung the one where they explode.
Yeah. Or
Because
the
parang,
borax
yeah,
something
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
boric acid or something.
Exploding ants. The bomb. All right, we're moving away. Oh my God, is it cruelty for the cow? To which Aina replies, "Ask the cow and the kalabaw." No.
Okay, so we've covered a wide range of lucky and unlucky foods and food practices and superstitions.
I will add a personal superstition to wrap up today's episode. Is that Toby and I have the slightly statistically reasonable belief that when we favor a restaurant, it becomes prosperous. But the moment we turn away, it dies.
It sounds very egotistical to think this, but the pattern is there.
Okay, first step in a restaurant is that we find something that doesn't have a large crowd. We go there and it's empty, but we'll be like, we'll give it a shot. Within 5 to 10 minutes,
People show up.
there are gonna be 3 to 4 other tables of
Mhm.
diners who have arrived while we're eating. And that's like a good sign for us, like, oh, maybe the place will be
And
good.
then there's that possibility pa na by the time we leave, may pila na or something.
No, there's so many times, and it's not like lunch hour or
Mm-mm.
anything because we tend to eat at weird times. And then the flip side is that so when we quote unquote adopt a restaurant, it like becomes a place where we regularly eat.
Mm-mm.
But then if one thing or another changes and we stop going, it closes within the year.
Mm-mm.
I swear to God.
And adopting is, um, we know we've adopted it when they already know.
Our names.
Yeah.
Man, the only person who knows my name now is the Lazada lady. When she saw me this morning, Suniko? Like, damn it. My Lazada delivery person knows me
Because
already.
even Sarsa reached that point.
Okay. So
Sarsa's closed.
there's a bunch of restaurants in that strip. We started eating sarsa because it was like good keto
And then
stuff, but it was like a little
and then
expensive.
there's the Japanese
Musashi
place.
Tei upstairs, but then I went keto, so we stopped eating there. And then we said naman, it's okay. Toby's office friends have taken over the burden, but
Mm-mm.
then the lockdown happened, and then they died. So this is the reason. If people are ever wondering why do we order from Sari One every single freaking week of this pandemic? It is because we are afraid to lose Sari One as a
Mm-mm.
restaurant. So that is our food superstition. That when a restaurant has reached adopted status, if we turn away, it's going to die. It is such a responsibility.
So Noel shares that he has the same effect on stores. Like it's empty when he enters, then 5 minutes later, hindi na ako maattend kasi ang dami ng tao.
Oh, you
Yes,
are a
yes. We
retail
have
lucky
that's
thing.
what it feels like also as a restaurant. Because sometimes we're like trying to get the waiter, wala na.
And then
Uh,
Aina says, kasi ang sarap mo kumain. You know, it's good if Toby starts going, with the eyes closed and the audible, So, what are our at-risk restaurants at the moment?
Currently?
Surprisingly, Ogetsuhime, the Japanese
Yeah.
buffet. We liked it. We've been going to it.
But
We
they
went
never
more,
knew us. But they never knew
but
us.
they don't know, so it's not adopted.
Yeah,
Sige,
they never
that's
knew
fair.
us.
That's fair.
Plus, there were times we were there again and we were like, parang, they don't seem to recognize us.
Yeah. At
So,
least with Sari One, they recognized us to
mm-mm.
a point. Although I think we've reached a time where they don't quite remember us anymore because we haven't been. To be fair, we haven't been dining in for a
Yeah,
year.
and that's okay. I think that protects them from the curse. Icebergs, we never had a specific iceberg.
Yeah, so we didn't go to icebergs enough to be
Mm-mm.
known.
I mean, the closest we'd have to an icebergs we frequent is the one beside CCP.
Well, more
Because,
before that, the one in Cubao, when we were in Cubao, because we would actually go there for lunch, then you'd always get tacos,
yeah.
and then sometimes ice cream. Then you'd feel there's that slight, we're so busog from lunch, then we can't have ice cream. Then we sad.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, that's like our weird thing. So hey, if you have other food related superstitions, restaurant related, I'd be curious to hear what people have. But I think that's a dare I say a pretty hearty discussion.
Mm-mm.
Last thoughts, Toby, on luck around food.
I'm curious to see if new ones will crop up given food that is relatively new. For
Mm-hmm.
example, will there be a milk tea
I was thinking when you
superstition?
were going down this thing, you were gonna say milk tea.
Diba? Like, was there gonna be a, parang, oh, na-stuck yung last sago sa straw. That's lucky, or something like that. Will there be something like that eventually?
Or things like nasamid ka sa boba and then think of someone's name and
Oo, yung
then
mga ganong,
I don't
mga
know.
ganong bagong meaning. Um, but yeah, there's that. And then I'm wondering if there's any diet-specific superstitions.
Like a keto
Yeah, or
superstition.
a paleo superstition, or ganyan.
I feel like a lot of these diets begin as superstitions. It's like, let's not eat grain. That's a great idea. Paleo is like, let's eat like cavemen. Things like that.
If you want to be more curious about those sort of stuff, you can check out Down to Earth with Zach Efron.
Wow! What a plug! Oh my gosh! What
We're
amazing.
talking about lucky food naman.
And he's the lucky one. Is
And
that what
his
you're gonna
food.
say?
And his
And
food.
his food.
All right, I guess
Wow.
that's it. Sangyup related. Oh yeah, that's true. A Sangyup related
Other
thing.
Korean food
Or
stuff.
like parang ano, when you have Sangyup and then you sit down and oh, there are eight extra dishes and not just seven. Lucky. Parang ganon. Maybe there's something like that
Number
will
of
crop up.
banchan.
Mm-mm.
Okay, okay. But hey, that was cool. Thank you very much, everyone, for participating in the discussion.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, that's our show. So if you have questions or suggestions for future episodes, fill up the Google form at bit.ly, Baduy Pride Ideas. We came up with this one because we wanted to force the luck theme, but hey, just let us know.
Noel asks, how come walang superstitions among vegetarians? Well, maybe now if you count Hare Krishna belief of karma, that eating plants and fruits have less karma.
Maybe, or it just shows you statistically that there's more people who eat meat who have problems and therefore look for luck.
Mm.
Okay. You can follow us on Twitter, also be no shade, RG Sunico.
You can also check out our blog, badaypride.com, for all the previous episodes and stuff about us.
So feel free to continue the conversation in the comments below. What are your food superstitions, traditions, whatnot? Do you only eat Pinoy spaghetti on a birthday? Is it bad to eat canton? I don't know. Let us know. All right? And be sure to subscribe for notifications, whether on Facebook or YouTube, so you don't miss our next live stream. Once again, I'm Rafi.
And I'm Toby.
And
And
this
this
is
is
Baduy
Baday
Pride.
Pride.
Hooray, good night.